Requested function will require 2 hours to complete.
Hello. So I want to do a show on elegant mages. As you know, I'm thinking of changing our load order in our game. So I want to do a show on this mod because I don't know, I may include it because I kind of like it, but I might choose not to include it. So I want to do a show on this mod, Elegant Mages. Now if we look at this, it's a pretty big mod, about 266 megabytes. Let's see, the author is Dennis83, and I believe that really is the author. I'm going to check. I don't see anything. Oh, well, let's not look at the spoilers. Yeah, so the mod author really is Dennis83. Okay, this is mainly a retexture. I want you to notice new textures. It overhauls all the mage robes. It adds gloves and edits the outfits worn by mages. But now it's a texture. From what I can tell, it doesn't actually change the mesh or shape of these robes. And we'll get into that after we go through the initial show, okay? Because I'm going to show you these robes on a guy, and then I'm going to turn around and show you some of the robes on a girl, and I'll explain to you why, because I'll show you that real quick right now. Okay, so just remember, this is the mod we're going to look at, and I'm going to show you what I have in my load order. Now we're going to go really quickly, okay? And I'll explain to you why. I'm going to show you the guy first so that you can see the vanilla guy with these robes. But then, notice, I have this mesh. This is basically changing the mesh of all the female clothing to a 7-base body, okay? And it will affect these robes, because this is going to retexture the mage's robes to look according to this mod, but then this is going to reshape them with the mesh to this mod. Okay, so the males are going to be vanilla with these elegant robes, and then the girls are going to have those elegant robes, but they're going to have this 7-base mesh or shape. Okay, so that's the idea. So we're going to get in here and we're going to try this out and see if it works like I expect it to, like I think I have seen it working. Because, you know, we've been playing this with Porthos for a while. And anyway, let's just get in the game. And I'm going to have a new guy, just make some stuff. And we're going to take a look at it. And then we'll switch him to a girl. And we'll look at some stuff and make sure that it comes out in this body shape, okay? Because this is supposed to be just a retexture, and it looks pretty cool. I kind of like the idea of having different looking robes. Anyway, I'll see you in the game in a moment. So for this mod, the first thing you want to do is craft this book, Tailoring for Mages. Okay, so I crafted that. Now it should allow you and open up everything you need to be able to do as far as crafting robes and that sort of thing. Where's my book? Hold on. Don't worry about all this other craziness I have. Let's just find that book. Now, it might tell you some of the things. It says to retexture, you must have the correct robes and this book to be able to retexture some of that. So you have to have one in your inventory, etc., etc., etc. That's to retexture it, okay?
Oh.
All right, so I want to show you something. Here in Miscellaneous, the robes, like the Adept robes, you really have to have an Adept robe of destruction before you can come in and make one of these variations. So I want you to see that. They only appear to have done this for destruction, okay? And then for the Apprentice robes, the same thing. You have to have an Apprentice robes of destruction to come in and make one of these variations. Notice the different, these are just different textures, different colorization of these robes. Now, this also applies to the Expert. I'm going to come down to the Expert and show you that real fast. Same thing, you have to have an Expert robe in your possession to be able to come in and make one of these in the color you prefer. And they did the same down in, what is it, Master? Yeah. So this is a theme. Even though you have that book, you still need this to make these. Now, all the other robes, thanks to a mod that I have, all the other robes can be crafted up here in hide if you use the same mod I do. If you don't, then whatever mod you use that allows you to craft robes, you will be able to craft them wherever you would normally craft them. And they should come up like this, like the fire robes looks like that. You know, you should be able to craft these wherever you would normally be able to craft them. Now, if in your game you can't craft robes except with this mod and that book, I still think these robes are going to appear up here in hide, because that's where they have appeared for me. And that goes for all the robes, and they look correct. However, like I said, I do have a certain crafting mod. It's craft everything. So it could, these two mods together may be making it possible for me to craft all these robes under hide, okay? So I do want you to be aware of that, because this is mainly a retexture mod we're looking at, and my crafting mod may be what's put in this here for us to use, all right? Okay, so I'm going to finish crafting everything up and come back. And here we begin. So this is robes. I just called him robes. Later we'll change him to a girl and look at some of the robes just to show you how that's going to work. But this is the robes here. And this is the guy robes. And he's wearing the college boots, which are affected by this mod. And he is also wearing, let me scroll all the way down to these black unenchanted mage's gloves added by this mod. And he's wearing the Adept Robes of Destruction, one version, okay? There are several versions. I'm going to show you several of them. I may not show you all of them. There are more flavors of these that you can make, okay? But this is to give you some idea of what this looks like. We're going to go through each one of these. Notice that. I like these little variations. That's a nice little touch. It gives you an option. I appreciate having options with different colors. You may find that you like this kind of greeny color there. Let's see. Let's look at Destruction. You might like that. That has a cool look of its own. You know, different designs, different textures really livens the game up. And you're going to see some of these things being worn by NPCs. So don't be surprised. Not everything I show you, but some of these things you will see NPCs wearing. Now, the Archmage's robes, this does not look any different. Well, should I say any different? It doesn't look drastically different to me. And there's a version with the hood. This looks the same to me, really. I thought there was supposed to be a special version, but I did not see it. I don't think this changes. That looks the same. Well, you know what? It might look better. Look at that. It might look better than the standard vanilla, so I'm going to say that that does look a little better. Of course, you need a robe that goes with it. There you go. And that robe looks cool. So yeah, I do think that hood looks a little better than the vanilla. You have the blue robes. Looks very nice. I probably made him too buff to be a mage, but that's okay. He fills out his robes nicely. Let's see. Let's move on down. You do get different boots. Some of these boots are going to be harder to see. Let me take his robes off. Now, this was what we were wearing. You see those, right? Okay. And this is what we just put on. And they give you more of that vanilla bandagey look. I don't understand that look, but that's what it is. Here's some college robes. You're going to have the usual. There's some variations here. Let's take that hood off, because that hood is not meant to be with these robes, and it looks bad. Take that off. There we go. So now we have that. We do have other hoods that we can show, and we will get to that. But we're not there yet. We have this version of the college robes. Notice those boots are kind of clipping. I would change these boots. Let's see. Oh, that looks much better. Because they're brown, even if they clip, they don't show very much. So that looks good. They don't look like they clip. But then we have this. This looks very nice. So I like this mod. I've kept this mod for months in this load order while we've been playing. Even though I haven't been playing anyone magical, really, I've enjoyed having these robes around and seeing them in the game. I think they look nice. And I haven't seen any issues with it. Oh, this is basically the same as the Archmage's robes. I expected that to look different, but it doesn't, so there you go. It doesn't look different. Now here's Destruction robes. And I tried to make some variations for us. This is Expert. And I did manage to make a few variations. That's got a nice baby blue style look there, if you like that color. I like blue. That green is not my favorite, but it's not bad either. The fire robes. Now the fire robes, you actually have a fiery effect. But with the retexture, doesn't this really look good? I mean, that really looks good to me. And then the frost robes. Hold on. Look at that. You are announcing to the world, I am Frosty. I am going to freeze your butt off. You know, it's just one of those things. I kind of like it. And then here's the green robe. Gray. Now, I'm not going to go into as much in-depthness with the girl, okay? I'm just going to show you a few robes with her. I'm going to do all the main stuff here because this retexture is mainly, if you'll notice, it's mainly really giving you some nice looking colors and designs on your robes. And I, for one, really appreciate the variation. I might have made this hood black on this one, but I don't know. It's a hard choice. It looks good. It does. I'm not making fun of it. And you can always get this robe without the hood and then do the black hood on top of it, so it doesn't really matter. You can mix and match. Now I like that. I like that necromancer look. That looks very good. Now, I think there's some black boots, warlock boots. Let me find them that would go better with this. Bear with me while we scroll down here. Yeah. Now, they are enchanted, so if you don't want enchanted ones, you would have to find some. But those black boots, don't they look good with that? I think they do. And that's why I'm wearing the black gloves. I think the black gloves look good with that. Let's go back up. Okay. So we'll go to the hooded red robes. Again, I think very nice. Now this is the Thalmor robes, and I don't see any significant difference here, but I did this just so we could look at it and make sure. I don't see any significant difference there. Lightning robes. Look at that. Oh, you get the little lightning effect. Shocking, right? I know, I'm just being silly. Mage's gloves, black. These are the enchanted ones. They look the same as the unenchanted ones. And these are brown and unenchanted brown. But notice these are slightly different than the other brown gloves you will find in the game. I really like having these black gloves too. That's really nice sometimes. Anyway. Let's move on now. Mage's hoods. This hood removed our hooded robe. So let's find a robe that does not have a hood, so we can just wear it. Okay, like here. Gray robes. Okay, you just throw your hood on. You're hooded and you're ready to roll. Right? So let's roll back down. Okay. And then there's this one, a little browner. You might prefer that. Now, I do see the clipping. Oh, that's too bad. And I don't know what the difference is there. So with these, I see the clipping. I'll tell you what might be better. And this is so opinionated of me. But this might be the better choice because it prevents clipping. Okay, so I'm just going to mention that. This is probably the better choice of the hoods. The other hoods appear to clip. I'm not very happy with that. So I'm just letting you know that. I mean, you can still definitely use them. I just don't like the clipping. So going to move on. Going to take that off. All right. Master robes. Get a different style here. Now I know we're looking at a lot of the same things, just different, textures, different colorizations, different things of that nature. Not really huge design changes. If you'll notice, a lot of the mesh is the same or similar to what we already have in the game. Now this is Meridia's robe. As you know, you have a constant, what's that against the undead? I can't think of the right word, but you have a constant effect with Meridia's, the undead will flee up to level 65, so, there you have the monk boots. Don't ignore the monk boots. Those look good. They're nice brown boots as opposed to those black ones I had on. Here's the monk robes. Now that Meridia effect will stick around for a minute, so I apologize. It will fade away eventually. I don't remember how long it takes. Oh, and these robes are invisible. Okay, I didn't remember that. Okay. These robes are invisible if you want to run around in your underwear, or if you're playing a nude character and you want to... I had to get rid of that effect, sorry. Or if you're, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but there you go. Invisible monk robes. Maybe this is a special monk robe that didn't get changed in their mod. Anyway, you can have a moth priest blindfold, which I like. It's cool. And moth priest robes. Now, I don't know if this is truly changed or if this is just what's in the game. This looks very vanilla to me. It does not look like it's a part of this mod. So I'm going to say that, and I'm going to move on. We're seeing all this together. I don't expect that this is really going to be a part of the mod either, but I did these to see if they would be. To me, I don't know. Did this get retextured? I will say that it looks pretty good. So if it got retextured, they did a good job. It looks like a retexture. That actually looks nicer, I think, than the vanilla version. Now, it could just be that the boots and gloves and hood are different. I don't know. But I don't know. The color looks good. It looks like they stayed with the same design if they retextured the robes. So definitely the boots and gloves look good to me. So they may be, parts of it may be affected, maybe parts not. Let's go to the Necromancer. As we said before, I like the Necromancer look. I think that's very cool. You know who and what they are immediately. Novice robes. Now that's just normal novice robes. They're not special. They're not geared to destruction. Oh, wait, sorry. This is from the Creation Club, so ignore that. Now they did retexture the Sigic robes. Look at that. I think that looks nice. That's why I think they did retexture the Mythic Dawn robes too. They looked better, and so does this. Looks very nice. I like that. Okay, I wanted to see if they actually changed the ragged robes. I doubt they did, but I thought, let's just look. And no, I don't think they did. Matter of fact, my guy's calves are sticking out of the pants. Do you see that clipping on the legs down there? That's pretty funny. I don't think they messed with that. Okay, red robes. Looks nice. you know, if you wanted different colors of robes in your game, this is the way to go. Now, this just looks like the Arc 8 Mages stuff again, and look at that. It's just got that absorb effect. But I had to try it. These robes, I don't think these are any different. These look the same. They look vanilla to me. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but they look the same to me. Now, I think the Temple Priest might have got an upgrade. Let's look. No. Nope. Looks like the vanilla to me, so no. I don't think that was changed. If you look at the Thalmor, if it was changed, it was not significant enough for me to believe it was changed. Vermina's robes are different, and they're really... I think the color looks really nice. It gets your attention. And then we have the Warlock boots and the robes. And you will see this. Now, why they chose orange for the Warlock, I don't know. I'm not totally against it. It does make them stand out. But it's kind of funny looking. All right. So that's it for the guy. Now, this has been Robes male version part 1. I'm going to do a quick female version part 2 because it's going to show that although the mesh has changed, the texture has stayed with this mod, so that the girl is wearing a 7 base version of these robes with these textures, okay? All right, so I will be back in a moment.
Working.
All right, so here we are on Robes the girl, and I've got her in the 7 base body, and these textures are fitting on that body. Now, there are some exceptions. Now, this is what happens when you try to mesh 2 mods together that are editing the same thing, and sometimes the one on the bottom is always going to win out, so sometimes your results may not be totally what you expect. For instance, Vermina's robes, you can tell that's meshed to the 7 base body, right? Okay, and you can tell it has the new texture. However, these robes, even though it looks like they will have that texture, look, they do not. They have the vanilla texture. They are still fitted to the 7 base body, though. Okay, so which ones of these won out? Let's take a look and see. Well, I don't think you'll see any difference there, no. And there's no difference there. Let's go past the Telvanni stuff. Let's see, I don't think there was anything different there. Nope. Let's go red robes. The red robes work like we expect. That was the spell absorption thing. Don't worry about that. These robes still work like expected. Now, this Psijic robes and outfit, that works. And it's been fitted to the 7 base. So the texture has been applied. Let's see, that doesn't count. This, that looks correct. That was the result I wanted to get. So not everything is going to be, see, the Necromancer robes did not work out to be the way I wanted. We're still getting the vanilla robes. That's okay, that's going to happen. Mythic Dawn, that looks pretty good. Actually, the Mythic Dawn, though, has always looked like a good outfit, so even if this doesn't retexture at all, it's just a nice outfit. So, nonetheless, we can look at the Moth Priest and see there what we get. Let's take off those gloves. And that looks very vanilla to me, so I'm not surprised. I think that's what we had seen before. I guess I'm taking a moment and going through more of this than I originally intended. The invisible monk robe is still invisible. Now this one was fitted to the 7 base body, so we can see that. Let's see, those still work. Meridia's robes. Nice. Very nice, okay. Whoops. I'm all over the place. I've lost control. Master robes of destruction. Looks good. Let's move away and see if we can break that. Well, it's just going to time out when it times out, I guess. Sometimes her run walk is weird. Anyway, you get the idea. Some of these, not all of these are going to work, but like that one worked. This one worked. We're not going to go back to the hoods. I'm not going to worry about the hoods or the gloves. The lightning robe. That looks like that works. Let's see. The hooded red robes. Okay. So as you can see, the change, look, these don't work. The reason this doesn't work, though, is because they're both editing that necromancer robe, and I'll show you the mod that I'm referring to that is actually winning out that edit. But you notice it's not affecting these others. These are winning out and looking the way I want them to look. So it's mainly a success, but when I hit the necromancer or the black robes, then my other mod is winning out. And that's part of what we talk about when we say that we have mods editing the same things, and that one mod is only supposed to affect the mesh, but it must be applying the vanilla texture to those black robes. So there's not really much I can do about that, except I could turn that mod off, which would be fine. But I'm going to leave it on because it looks like 90% of this works the way I want. And it all works for the males, so I'm okay with that, actually. And I haven't seen any real issues with this. I've liked this mod and this whole load order, so I'm just going to continue to show you these. We got a few more, and I can probably move on. Like here, I'm just going to go through these a little quicker just to show you that these are working. And I've showed, now here's one. That's the vanilla robe. This is why we try to go through and look at everything, because we never know what we're going to get. That's the vanilla robe. We'll look at these boots here. That's not vanilla. That's not. Okay, black. Anytime you hit any of the black things, it's going to revert to vanilla using this mod combination that I have. Now understand that I'm referring to the mod combination that I'm using. If we turned off that 7 base mod, you would not get these results. You would actually get everything would be changed, but none of it would be fitted to her 7 base body. Okay? So let me pop out. I'll show you the mods, and we'll go over that one more time just real quick. But I wanted you to see this the way I have it, and the results we're getting and why. That way you're getting a little bit of a tip at the same time that we're just going through this mod, okay? All right. See you there in a moment.
Aye, sir.
All right. So I want you to see that I'm using craftable everything. Now that's the Skyrim Special Edition version. And then there are two other. This is the Dawn Guard version, or patch, or edition. And then this is the Dragonborn DLC edition, okay? Or patch, or add-on, however you want to say it. These 3 mods make up craftable everything. And that's what allows me to craft a lot of those robes that you saw under hide, okay? Now, we're going to come down here, and we're going to look at Elegant Mages. This is the mod that we're actually looking at. This retextures all those robes for male and female characters. Now, what we saw, though, was that for some of these, there was no change, especially on the girl. And I think that's because, well, I know that's because I have this mod here, which is refitting the clothing for the girls to the 7 base body. So that is why everything worked really well for the guy, but for the girl there was the black mage's robes and the necromancer robes that could not, that were not changed for her. Okay, so most everything worked for both. There were a few things that didn't work for her, and it's because I have this mod here. Okay, I'm not gonna turn that off or redo this whole show for that. you know, if you have a situation like this where you're retexturing your armor and then you have something else that you just want to change the mesh, the shape of your armor and clothing, this is the type of thing that you can run into where it works. There's no crashing. Everything in your game works. However, some of your results are not what you expect. And that's what happens when you get into this situation. If I put the 7 base armor above the Elegant Mages, would I get the results I want? Maybe I would, or maybe I would get other issues. I like the results I have as is, so I'm not going to worry about it. You, of course, feel free to play around however you want. Our main focus, though, has been on Elegant Mages, the retexture of all the robes. I think it looks really good, looks really great. I really like that mod. It's 266 megabytes. Let me say that again. It is 266 megabytes, okay? Kind of big, but I've seen worse. I mean, I've got whole armor replacers down here that are smaller, but these textures are really nice. You get a lot of nice colors. I think they're worth it. I've had this in my load order for months, and I've enjoyed it. So anyway, I'll quit going on about it. I just want you to realize that I think it's fun. It's good. If you like this style and these colors, then you will enjoy this. And if you don't, then don't download this. Seriously. I mean, because that's the whole idea. Okay? All right. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. And I will catch you later.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit.
This has been an OwwThatSmarts production.